Broward County grew and has grown at such a pace that maybe early on the public and myself in general, the reason why I even ran for office was you saw that it's finite. And then we started seeing reports about the vulnerability of South Florida to sea level rise and climate change, and realized as we started comparing data that we are indeed in very difficult times ahead if we don't start to make decisions now. So the county commission, as items started to come forward, as we started to really focus in on the challenges that are lying ahead of us, the county commission just really stepped up and said, let's take these issues on. Let's create a task force for climate change. Let's create a task force for water issues. Knowing how vulnerable we thought we were at the end of those processes, the climate change task force had 160 recommendations and the water task force had 40. That really was a roadmap to our future. It was alarming to see what was going to happen if we didn't make some changes, and the public has been echoing those concerns for quite some time. We get lots and lots of letters as people start to understand the vulnerability of our water supply, the issues facing us with energy costs as they continue to go up, just the cost of paying for your water bill, and those changes alone have really, the public's expecting us to do something different, and I'm really excited about the direction the county's been taking to make some of the changes that we have.
Overall, our objectives as part of Broward County government are to help ensure a high quality of life for the residents in our community. Water is a very important asset that's brought residents to settle in Broward County, and it draws a lot of individuals, visitors to the county. The water resources such as the Atlantic Ocean, the coral reefs that are in the ocean, the Everglades natural systems are all resources that are vulnerable to climate change. More extreme storm events threaten our resources, ocean acidification, rising temperatures will all combine potentially to compromise those systems. And while there may be some element of climate change that is already underway because of historic emissions, we have a great potential as a community to help lessen the long-term impacts and to aid our natural systems in adapting to those changes, and our conservation efforts are going to be fundamental.
The messaging that's going on between the county and our partner cities, the idea that we need to partner with one another to move into the future, has just been wonderfully embraced by the League of Cities and by the 4 counties.
A number of Broward County agencies are involved in helping to reduce energy consumption within Broward County operations. At Port Everglades, which is a major port in the United States, they've implemented a number of energy efficiencies associated with cooling systems, window films, chillers that have resulted in significant energy as well as cost savings at about $700,000 a year in reduced electrical consumption. At the county's wastewater treatment facility, they've changed out some of their technologies, moving from manual aerators to a blower system that has also resulted in energy and cost savings at about $600,000 a year. Additionally, another area of importance in trying to reach greenhouse gas emissions goals is with regards to traffic.
It's a regional effort that we have to go through. Our residents live in Broward County but may travel to Palm Beach or Miami-Dade on their way to work. They may live in one of our 31 cities, but they travel through multiple cities on their way to work. So when we're looking at how to reduce our emissions, we know one of those ways is to streamline our traffic signalization.
The county has invested staff resources in a light synchronization project. It's a Green Lights program,
which has been an amazing hit with the population, particularly recently, as they have been able to go vast distances and never get stuck at a red light, which is, I think, nirvana for any driver.
With this program, it's expected that fully implemented, we will reduce fuel consumption and greenhouse gas emissions by about 15%. And given the fact that Broward County residents are estimated to drive about 15 million vehicle miles per day. That is a significant opportunity for helping to meet goals for the county and cost savings for our residents.
And then as relates to water, we put in a water restriction of making it permanent 2 days a week. And at first, when the item came on the agenda, I was really worried that the public was going to show up and cry that we need to water all the time, even though we get tons of rain, 60 inches a year on average, and we don't need supplemental irrigation. I thought that they all might show up and complain, but what happened was it was just embraced by the editorial boards, by the public, the letters that came in. They really responded in a positive way.
We also are at the point of implementing a water conservation and incentives program that will provide our Broward County residents with rebates for high-efficiency water conserving devices such as shower heads and high-efficiency toilets, high-efficiency pre-rinse spray valves in the commercial sector. And the water conservation will be a major facet in helping to meet our climate mitigation as well as adaptation goals. So we'll continue to look for residential participation as well as greater governmental participation in those program efforts.
I think anybody who lived in our county when we went through Hurricane Wilma and saw the devastation that happened as a result of it knows how sad it is to not have trees, and the loss of tree canopy in our county was just astonishing. So we launched a reforestation program to help put those trees back, because trees don't just give us shade, they also return a lot of water. A mature tree can transpire over 3,000 gallons of water a day into the air, which brings changes the temperature, it brings wind, and of course it brings rain, which then replenishes our aquifers. We need fresh water, and we're not going to get any more than what we're going to be given by nature. The quality of our life by having an easy commute to work, because we've taken the time to change the timing systems. When you go to a park and there are lots of trees, not just at the park itself, but on the route you took to get there. When we rebuild or redevelop communities and we include energy efficiency and we include canopy and beauty in part of the overall design, it means that we're building the kind of future that people are going to want to, the reasons why people will come to Broward and want to stay there. We're building the kind of future that when you have a child and they're growing up and you're remembering what it was like when you were young, rather than bemoan what the future might look like, instead you can look at what the county is doing and feel really good that you're in a great place that is only going to continue to get better, that the quality of life issues that you care about, we care about passionately. It's why I think all of us are in office, and what we really want to do is make Broward the best that it can be, not just because we're here today, but for those who are coming after us.
It's widely recognized that Broward County is an area that is particularly vulnerable to the long-term effects of a changing climate. And in order to make Broward County, maintain Broward County as an attractive place for residents, families, and our business community, it'll be important that we make the efforts today to help protect those resources for many years to come.
It's what I think the public expects of us, is to look beyond today to make sure that their children, my grandchildren, have a wonderful future in Broward County and the surrounding area going forward. And that really means that we have to think beyond the time that we're here in office and plan for the future, and then create programs that can endure.